Hello, I'm Shivani Misra and I'm a consultant in diabetes, a researcher funded by the Wellcome Trust at Imperial College London, but also on the board of trustees for the DRWF.
So you've been to these days before. What do you think to this bigger event, celebrating 25 years of working in diabetes, but also having the different streams?
Yes, so you're right. So I have been to these events over the years, and today's one just feels incredible. I'm here representing the board of trustees today, and the energy, the professional setup, I've only been here half an hour and it's already, the vibe of it is really, really impressive. And that's a huge credit to the big DRWF team. I know there was at least 30 people coming up on a bus last night, so huge credit to the team. But obviously that's only half of it, because it's the people that give it the energy. And there are hundreds of people here of all ages, all demographics. It's really, really pleasing to see that kind of turnout.
And it's really nice to see the research that DRWF is funding, to show that to people, because I don't think they always recognise that.
No, so the Research Village is a really nice, innovative development of the programme this year. And plenty of people are coming through, and I really like the sort of card system that's been developed so that people get a stamp on their card and a chance to win a prize if they talk to more researchers. So that sort of takes the intimidating aspect out of it, I think, because it can be quite intimidating to go up to a professor or a doctor and start talking about research. But I've just walked through there, and everyone's deep in conversation, and it just seems to, again, have this real energy and enthusiasm about it.
And the research that the charity is funding doesn't always get as much audience, does it? And why is that so important?
Oh, I mean, how long have you got, Claire? Research in diabetes is so important to the person living with diabetes. I mean, I have to say, in the UK, some of the innovation that has occurred on the back of charity-funded research has been absolutely groundbreaking. And the really important thing is that you want that research to reach the people living with diabetes quickly. We don't want to spend decades. And that's what's happening in the UK at the moment. And it is down to charities like DRWF funding really important research, the agenda for which is driven by people living with diabetes. And we see that. So it is massively important. And as always, I always thank the people that donate to the charity, because they make it what it is.
Brilliant. And the board of trustees, you've been part of that for how long?
I think this might be my third year.
Okay.
So it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. DRWF obviously started out in America and has branched out to different countries. So the UK is one of them. And it was a huge honour for me to be invited to be a part of the board, and has been a lovely experience to sort of give back to the charity.
And your own research, what's that looking at now?
So the initial research that DRWF funded was all about different types of diabetes in different ethnic groups, and that's been brilliant. That has taken me in a slightly different direction, so I'm now funded by the Wellcome Trust to look at early onset type 2 diabetes. And that is a growing problem in England. We've just shown that there are now 140,000 people living with type 2 diabetes under 40. Which is a big worry. So my research now focuses on that group of individuals, and we're developing a number of projects around that.
Is that across the ethnic range, or is it more in certain ethnic groups?
Really good question. So it can occur in all ethnic groups. It does seem to disproportionately occur in people who are already at risk of type 2 diabetes, so Asian, African, Caribbean people, Middle Eastern individuals, East Asian, so they do seem to have more of it, but it's also there in, white British populations as well. And it's going up. There's been an 18% rise in the last 5 years in under 40s relative to 11% rise in every other age group. So we definitely need to be focusing our attention on this group.
So do you have a top tip for people living with diabetes?
Oh, Do I have a top tip? I mean, there are so many. What would be my top tip? I think one of the things I've learned through DRWF is the importance of peer support. I think living with diabetes, whatever type you have, can be a very isolating experience. But on a day like today, when behind me there are hundreds of people, many of whom are living with diabetes, you can really see that you're not alone. So if you're living with diabetes and you feel alone, reach out to DRWF and find peers who are going through the same things that you're going, and make sure you get support.
Fabulous.